I'm going to call May 1st, 2023 meeting of the Mount Angel City Council to order. Join me in the flag salute. Pledge allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
So we're down to item 4, and we have 3 proclamations.
Oh, excuse me, I have a great roll call.
Oh, let's do that then.
All right, Councilor Eden. Here. Councilor Astorga. Here. Councilor Donahue. I'm here. Councilor Ott.
Here.
Councilor Hooper. Here. Our student councilor Vasquez is absent tonight. Councilor Bow. Here. Mayor Wall.
Here. Okay. Now we have 3 proclamations. And I'll read the first one, and if my voice holds out, I'll read them all. Let's start out with the first one. It reads, whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as Police Week. And whereas the members of law enforcement agency of the Mount Angel Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of Mount Angel. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of our police department recognize their duty to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and by protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression or intimidation. And whereas the Mount Angel Police Department has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency, which unceasingly provides a vital public service. Now, therefore, I, Pete Wall, Mayor, call upon all citizens of Mount Angel and upon all patriotic, civil, and educational organizations to observe the week of May 14th through May 20th as Police Week in Mount Angel, and ask all residents to commemorate police officers past and present who by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities have rendered a dedicated service to their communities, and in doing so have established for themselves an enviable and enduring reputation for preserving the rights and security of all citizens. I further call upon all citizens of Mount Angel to observe May 15th, 2023 as Police Officers Memorial Day, to honor those peace officers who through their courageous deeds have lost their lives or have become disabled in their performance of duty, and witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Mount Angel to be affixed, done at the city of Mount Angel this first day of May 2023. Thank you all for what you do. The second proclamation reads as follows. Whereas public works infrastructure, facilities, and services are of vital importance to sustainable communities and to the health, safety, and well-being of the people of Mount Angel. And whereas public works facilities and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of the public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees from state and local government and the private sector who plan, design, build, operate, and maintain the transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to serve our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for Mount Angel residents to understand the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas National Public Works Week is sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now therefore, I, Pete Ball, Mayor, do hereby proclaim May 21st through May 27th as Public Works Week in Mount Angel. And I encourage all residents to recognize the contributions of our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Mount Angel to be affixed down at the city of Mount Angel this first day of May 2023. And we thank you for all you do, public work. And we have one more, which reads, whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. And whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community. And whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of the state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations. And whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk, now therefore I, Pete Ball, Mayor, do hereby proclaim April 30th through May 6th as Municipal Clerks Week in Mount Angel, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerks and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Mount Angel to be affixed, done at the city of Mount Angel this first day of May 2023. Thank you all for your clerk duties. That includes the proclamations. Do you have any interested citizens, Colby?
I do not have tonight, no emails, and Mr. Ketchum is here for the planning commission application.
Great, thank you. Okay, so we have also number item 6 is review of our accounts payable. And I'll just go around the room and start with David. Do you have any questions?
No.
Joe? Tony? Nope. Yeah. Nope. No. Nope. Nope. And I don't have any either. That was. And the next item is the quarterly department reports. We're in your packet. Anyone have any questions or comments on those? Start again with David. Left tonight.
I do not.
Nothing. Joe?
No.
Tony? No. Matt? Shelley? No. No. It's good. Somebody have a meeting after this one? Okay. Okay, so the next item is our consent agenda, approved city council meeting minutes of April 3rd, 2023. And
I have one thing change.
okay, we have,
Under 11 on page 35, new business 11, under the liquor license. They actually do allow minors inside. I was curious if they were gonna keep it that way. It says no minors are allowed inside, so.
It's up to the applicant. And-
Right, currently minors are. So I just wanted to correct
Yeah,
that.
so I have no idea what their plans are, but that's entirely up to them.
So anyways, minors are allowed inside, so I just wanted to not get that wrong. That's the only thing that's tiny.
okay. Okay, any other questions or comments? If not, I will entertain a motion on the consent agenda.
I'll move to accept it if I want minor change.
Okay,
One second.
moved by Councilor Kyle, seconded by Councilor Astorga to approve the consent agenda with that minor change.
Counselor Bow.
Aye.
Student Councilor Vasquez is absent. Counselor Eater.
Aye.
Counselor Hooper.
Aye.
Counselor Astorga.
Aye.
Counselor Donovan.
Aye.
Counselor Ott.
Aye.
Mayor Walker.
Aye. Okay. Our next item is unfinished business, and that is our fee schedule, which we discussed at our last meeting. And so with that introduction, I'll turn it over to Kara.
Yeah, so after our meeting last month, I called Express Bill Pay, who is our third-party credit card processor. And they had a certain person reach out to me and explain that since they know the rules for the credit card service fee, how it works, they said that we'd have to set up a third account with Chase Payment Tech. And with that account, anytime there's a fee or anytime they process something, that we get charged additional fees. So I thought that was interesting that we'll be getting fees on the reimbursement for fees. So I recommend that we do at least a minimum of 3%, since I figured 2.5% would have covered the fees for one single family development of SDC fees. So at least figured 3% will cover those additional fees we're charged. And then they also said there is no dollar threshold, but that we can segregate the charge to departments that are clear and distinct. So we couldn't say it was only part of admin fees. We'd have to do all admin fees. But since community development is its own department within the general fund, and the SDC funds are their own fund, I feel like we can just segregate it to any fee in those departments or funds. And it is segregated that way. On the fee schedule, you go to pocket page 46 at the top. It says credit card service fees applies to everything on that page.
Anyone have any questions about that? Or concerns?
The only other change on the fee schedule was we increased the ambulance license for next fiscal year.
Yeah. I do have a comment or on the resolution 1570, which is in our packet, which we're in motion on. It says adopted and approved on February 2nd, 2023. And Last I checked,
Oh.
May 1st.
Okay, sorry, clearly needed to clean that up a little bit. Okay,
So we have a recommended motion, and I'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the attached resolution updating fees for services for the city of Mount Angel.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilor Hofer, seconded by Councilor Fowl. Approve this resolution. Roll call, please.
Counselor Hart,
hi.
Counselor Fowl,
Aye.
Student Councilor Vasquez is absent, Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Counselor Hooper,
Aye.
Counselor Astorga,
Aye.
Counselor Donahue,
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. Okay. Moving right along. We are down to new business and we have item 10A is a liquor license for Lou's Kitchen.
Happy to speak about it. So I'm sure as everybody has become aware, Lou's Kitchen is going to be moving into the former Glockenspiel restaurant. And as such, they have applied for a liquor license. And that address is 190 East Charles Street. They will be operating under the name of Lou's Kitchen. And Scott Stokely is the applicant for this liquor license. And we've reviewed the application. There were no adverse findings. Staff recommends that council approve this liquor license.
Okay. Council have any questions? Comments?
It'd be weird not hearing it called the Glockenspiel.
Maybe it'd be Lou's Kitchen at the Glockenspiel. I see Scott and Christie here. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh. Did you hear that comment?
I did. Maybe we'll brand it Lou's Kitchen under the Glockenspiel. How's that
Okay,
sound?
that sounds good. Okay,
I'll move to approve the liquor license application for Lou's Kitchen, Stokely Enterprises LLC, Scott Stokely applicant.
okay. I'll give this- Motion by Councilor Bob, that's second by Councilor Ott to approve this liquor license. You have a roll call, please?
Counselor Donahue. Aye. Counselor Hart,
Hi.
Counselor Fowl,
Aye.
Student Councilor Vasquez is absent, Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Counselor Hooper,
Aye.
Counselor Astorga,
Aye.
Mayor Wall.
Aye. And best wishes with your new enterprise, Scott. Hope it works really well for you.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Now hurry up and get it open.
We'll do. I'm working over here right now, so we're getting on her.
Okay,
Thanks, Scott.
good, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Our next item is we have a planning commission application by Matt Fetchum.
And I will refer that to Colby, who is in charge of that department.
We have a vacancy on the planning commission due to the resignation of Diana Kirkham. And I put out an ad newsletter, put it on our website. Mr. Ketchum entered an application. Hopefully we'll have a chance to take a look at it. He's here tonight if anybody has any questions.
Okay, good. Anything you'd like to say or?
Just looking forward to hopefully being able to help town and work with the elected officials and staff and the planning commission in general. Appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you for applying. So we need to take action on this. Anyone else have any questions? No? Okay,
I move to appoint Matt Ketchum to the planning commission for a 2-year term expiring on June 20th, June 30th, 2020.
Okay. Moved by Councilor Story, seconded by Councilor Hofer. To appoint Matt Ketchum to the Plan Commission. Are we?
Counselor Astoria,
Aye.
Counselor Donahue. Aye. Counselor Ott,
Aye.
Counselor Powell.
Aye.
Counselor Vasquez is absent. Counselor Eater,
Aye.
Counselor Hooker. Aye. Mayor Wall.
Aye. Thank you. And thank you for
Thank you.
your service that you will be putting in. Thank you. Okay. That concludes our action items, and we are going to go into executive session here. And we're calling an executive session. And the city council will meet in executive session pursuant to 192-660 sub E to conduct deliberations with persons designated by the governing body to negotiate real property transactions. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend this executive session. All of the persons are asked to leave the room. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed to not record the meeting and not report on any matter addressed during the executive session, except to state the general subject of the executive session as previously announced. No final action or decision may be made in the executive session. And that concludes the executive session. And I will move on to item 12, city manager's report.
I will try to be brief, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, number one, for the proclamation about Police Week. In Oregon, we have an annual police memorial at the Department of Public Safety Center in Salem. That is tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and I have been asked by the director of the DPS to attend, and I plan on being there at 1 o'clock. The West Markham Sanitary Sewer Trunk Line project has officially gone to bid. Went to bid last week. In fact, Alan and I looked in the box today, which contains a bid book and actually contained a couple of bid books and plans, and everything looks great. So we are officially moving ahead with the sanitary sewer trunk line project.
When's the bid deadline? Okay, thank you.
The American Legion will be having Memorial Day service at Calvary Cemetery, May 29th at 9:30 in the morning. Police Department will likely assist with traffic control. I believe that gets over at 11 o'clock. We're still waiting for the results of the environmental testing at City Hall. In the meantime, just let everybody know that maintenance is scheduled this week on the roofs, on the roof HVAC systems for both City Hall and the Police Department, as well as the sump pump, which is located under the stairs on the south side of the building. In front of you is a guide from the League of Oregon Cities. This is in regards to persons experiencing homelessness in public spaces. This is also commonly referred to as the Boise decision. And there are some things that technically needed to be done by July 1st of this year to our code to make sure that we're not in violation of the Boise decision, and that we allow homelessness and that type of thing to occur. I wanted to make sure that you had the same guide that I have from the League of Oregon Cities. Please take time to read it. There is going to be more information coming. I'll be working with our city attorney to look at code and make any appropriate changes. Bringing those recommended changes to council, and we will likely visit those along with our budget at the next council meeting in June. So we will likely have a much longer council meeting next month than the last number of council meetings. So please plan for at least a 2-hour council meeting so that we can get through the budget and any code changes that may need to be made. That's all I got.
Well, thank you. Counselor reports. I will start with Council President Eater.
So do we have homelessness in Mount Angel?
We don't have any camps. But we have people that sleep in their cars. Of course, we've had a number of homeless people that used to live in the 500 block of Railroad Avenue, but don't live here anymore. They have gone out to places like out on Saratoga, to a very vacant property out there, as well as a number of other places. The people who used to live at 550 Railroad are living in cars mostly, and are living in their cars on the periphery of Mount Angel. They don't wish to engage here in Mount Angel for a variety of different reasons. So there are homeless people in and around. The issue at hand isn't necessarily any homeless people that we might find here right now, but the issue may come as a result of somebody wanting to test our community in the future. Much like they do First Amendment audits and those types of things. So making sure that our code is appropriate and we're prepared is the best thing to do.
I noticed a while back, were there a bunch of surveying be done around the fountain area a while back, or what was that for?
It's all part of the ADA project for ODOT. So when they're going to be putting in ADA ramps and enhancing crossings and taking out some of the crosswalks and that type of thing. So they're doing surveying all the way from the north end of town, all the way to the south end of town.
Is there any talk of any paving being done? I mean, not just the crossing, I'm just talking,
in general.
yeah.
So there is talking always going on about paving. And that's something that I brought up with ODOT about that whole intersection, all three pieces of that. We recently reached out and got some bids on some paving in that area. And it's pretty high. Really high. Okay. But I've been thinking about some other possibilities, which I haven't talked with Alan about. So there's no immediate plans to do any paving. And of course, we know that our paving goes up to a spot, and then it's the railroad responsibility, and then our paving starts again. So we will continuously play this communication and catch up game with the railroad in regards to that. But I was out there taking a look, and instead of, it's kind of a stopgap measure, but instead of paving, for an extensive area, there's a lot of potholes, a lot of irregularity to right in front of the railroad tracks or on both sides of railroad tracks. And maybe it's 10 feet or so where you see the majority of those potholes and things like that. So, like I said, I haven't talked with Alan about this, but maybe we need to reach back out to our contractors and see if we can cut out some of those sections and actually come in and pave them out in the same manner that they were talking about removing the entire roadway and repaving those sections.
Okay.
So we'll continue to have those conversations.
Last question, I noticed everybody doesn't have a tablet tonight, so the tablet's on the blade? Or they where mine is at in the closet?
Oh, I have mine in my bag, just.
I returned,
For the first time in a long time, I got paper delivered. I
Okay,
don't know why.
I'm just curious.
I turned mine in because I was,
I'm a paper guy in Woodward. I've seen
Okay.
never calls me back to set on
Yeah.
them, so.
I'm not a huge fan of tablets in general. I like computers. Just
Okay,
laptops.
I'm done.
Old school that way. Yeah. PC all the way.
Papers don't break down.
I won't say on the replacement schedule.
I tried it.
You won't need to, they're all brand new.
I didn't hear what you said. Karen.
I won't put them on the replacement schedule.
Okay. At least not mine.
Well, if nobody's using them, we'll give them to Public Works, they can read meters.
Please.
mine went to Public Works, right? Yeah. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You got rid of yours?
Yeah, because I can't I can't do mayor, I can't do mayor without some paper, so. I can't multitask that well, so. Okay,
I'm done.
you done? Counselor Ott,
I'm going to hopefully attend the Mid-Willamette Valley Affordable Housing Conference on May 16th. On my calendar.
hey,
I just want to apologize for missing the budget committee meeting.
As you should.
I know it's exciting.
now we're gonna,
My wife's on vacation and I had all 3 kids and I just flat out forgot, so. There's my excuse,
maybe we'll cut your pay.
yeah.
I'm gonna cry.
You broke Ferris heart. Me,
Just other than after meeting with Alan, we'll try to get set a date for the high school kids to come out. And, picnic. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, 2 questions and a comment. First question, and these literally just came up in like 2 seconds ago, so don't put too much into it. I noticed walking here that on Markham, on either side of Monroe, there are no crosswalks. And so something to think about, especially if we're gonna consider developing over in that area. But that does seem to be a place as I come down the road and turn that very often. Basically, it's jaywalk central right there, and I'm concerned that that's a primary spot for people to get hit coming back and forth. So I don't know who we talk to consider maybe laying some stripes, and if we have to engage a traffic engineer for placement, or if we just go based on our standards.
We were actually talking about that, putting in crosswalks in there. Are you talking about crossing
Crossing
from one
Markham.
side to the other?
Yeah, so even if we only did one, just pick a side of Monroe. It's not Monroe that goes by the fire station.
Yes, yeah.
Pick a side and at least give a way across Markham.
Yeah.
Because like I said, usually that corner right there, either at the medical center or more likely, which it kind of doesn't make a lot of sense to put a crosswalk yet on the BC Plumbing side, because there's no sidewalks on that end lot, but there's no crosswalk across Markham. So probably at the corner of Markham, basically right in front of the medical center.
Yeah.
I think would really help.
We're likely gonna have to engage with Marion County, because it is moving right away.
Okay,
They've been pretty clear to us, anything we do on either side of Markham's, we need to run through Marion County.
okay,
So we will be diligent about that.
okay. So as a driver who's often seen people walking across that street.
And as I'm sure you're aware, every crosswalk or every intersection has a crosswalk. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to have a line of stripes or anything like that.
It'd be nice to contain, or at least give them the suggestion. The other thing that I'm gonna answer right now is if we have anything in our code about people parking in their yards.
I'd have to look.
That was a complaint from the spouse. And the only other thing, I just learned about this about an hour ago and I thought it was cool, so I'll share. I found out that the Mount Angel Middle School principal, Mr. Taylor, is actually the middle school principal of the year for the state of Oregon.
wow.
Right
Yeah,
here in Mount Angel, so. There's your good news for the day.
that is nice.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. David,
I don't have anything.
okay. Hey, we're gonna do mayor's report. And I'll be talking for the next hour, so bear with me. Now, just a couple of things. One I'd like you to think about. And I had a conversation with Mark about this. We appoint people to boards and commissions continuously throughout the year. And we haven't, as a council, interviewed them. And I just want you to think about that A lot of cities do interview anybody that when they appoint them, and just think about that. Sometime we'll talk about it and see if we want to start doing that.
Make a list of interview questions for.
Yeah, and then make it,
Yes.
you ask them some questions. You find out, well, you can't find out, but sometimes people have a very hidden agenda. And you can, that you might not want on a certain board or something. So anyway, let's think about that. Second thing is this week, this week? No, last week. We had, I don't know if you've heard about the welding shop project at the high school, but we had a groundbreaking, and John Gooley raised a lot of money for that. It's going to be called the Gem Equipment of Oregon Welding Room, because they started the project by giving $25,000. And then the Montana Community Foundation and John Gooley will ask anybody for money, I know. But they raised a lot of money. And I don't know the total. Do you remember?
I don't remember what the total was, but
But then, so we're there, and two of the county commissioners came to this grand opening or groundbreaking, and they gave another $20,000 to buy this super duper welder. So they're going to have some vocational education that will be valuable at the high school. And some of us have been pushing for that ever since they did the strategic plan about 5 or 6 years ago. So anyway, that's a great project for the community. And then ballots are out. If you haven't voted, please vote. And the only other thing I have is we have other community festivals in a couple of weeks. It's either the MyFest or the Mayfest, depending on what country you come from, but so we're gonna have another festival, so.
And then we'll be selling Doughboys both through the front door and through the back door.
Okay. So if you want an illicit Doughboy, go out the back door.
Meaning they're being strategically placed so that they can sell Doughboys to people who have not entered.
Oh, okay.
That's my
Okay.
understanding.
Okay. But that's a fundraiser for the school district, so anyway.
That's what I was gonna ask, if it was strategic, so you don't have to go in to get one.
Confirm with my spouse. She's organizing it, so.
And want to thank the staff for all their work on the budget again. It was I think we had a good budget review. There are going to be a couple of things I'm anticipating that will be brought up when council adopts the budget. Councilor File, correct?
Correct.
But they're actually, it's a good process to go through. So anyway, but it was a good work, and we have a good budget, so. And with that, if anybody has something else they want to push it. Okay, I'm going to adjourn the meeting.